What's a win for you, Fury?
What you mean, what's a win for
What's a win for you? You care about sales, or you just happy to get the product out?
Man, I care about reaching the people.
Okay, all I do is win. Ain't no way that I could ever lose. I just bagged a bitch and bought a brand new pair of Jimmy Choos. If you fuck with me in 3 and T, we gon' be on the news. It costs at least a G to speak to me, so who you talking to? Let's go. What it do? It's your boy from the floor, kicking it with Barbie and the homie Troy. That's my dog, rolling nothing but ear shattering noise. And these logs to my hotel room becomes a void full of fog. Whoa, ain't no smoking in here. Whatever you rollin', go ahead and put it in the air. Pass it round a couple times till it disappear. In the morning we on the road and up out of here. Shout out to Charlemagne. I ain't gotta rap, I ain't gotta sing. I ain't gotta trap, I ain't gotta bang. Just put on the track and let me do my thing. This is for my peeps, this is for my fam. Jumping out the seats, throwing up their hands. If you want the trees, got them by the gram. This is for my peeps, and this is for my fam. This is for my peeps, and this is for my fam. Jumping out the seats, throwing up their hands. If you want the trees, got them by the gram. This is for my peeps, and this is for the fam. It goes, hold up, wait a minute, 3 and T the label and we independent. Find a beat and I'ma kill it in 20 minutes. Me pop cause I'm sky high on this killer spinach. Troy sipping Guinness while we discussing business. I'm sitting back, counting fat stacks and puffing swishes. Nobody fucking with us, but y'all already know. This that trash juice, that bebop rock steady flow. This is for my peeps, this is for my fam. Jumping out the seats, throwing up their hands. If you want the trees, got them by the gram. This is for my peeps, and this is for my fam. This is for my peeps, and this is for my fam. Jumping out the seats, throwing up their hands. If you want the trees, got them by the gram. This is for my peeps, and this is for the fam.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to my...
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to my very first solo vlog ever. The first of many, I'm sure. The song that you just heard is called Peeps. It will be on the brand new Trash Juice album, which is a collaborative album between me and T. Keith. And it's a really dope song, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, this is my very first of many of these solo vlogs, so it'll get better or it'll get worse. Who the fuck knows? Either way, we're gonna have fun doing the shit. All right? So tonight, we're going to discuss something near and dear to my heart. First of all, I want to tell y'all that the reason it's called Face It with Fury is because I'm going to sit here with you guys and I'm going to face a blunt of CBD and discuss topics that are near and dear to me. So, tonight, I think we're going to talk about accessibility, and we're going to talk a little bit about, how adaptive technologies and accessible technologies have really helped blind and visually impaired people to navigate this sighted world. I think that I wanted to tackle this one first because I get a whole lot of, messages and DMs and whatnot and comments like, well, Fury, if you're blind, how do you do this? Or how do you read that comment? Or how do you know what that said? You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And a lot of that comes from screen reading software and accessibility software, because I think that there's a major misconception that when you cannot see, you don't have a life. You're just made to sit there and just be a lump on a log or whatever it is, because you can't see, so what can you do? But people have worked around that over the years, and they've made a whole lot of great strides and leaps and bounds, to make the world really adaptive to blind folks. So I think what I want to talk about first is an amazing man by the name of Ted Hinter, right? And Ted Hinter, you can pull that up on the Wikipedia if you want to, Troy.
It's not trash.
See, I have my assistant here tonight, Troy, and he'll be pulling up things as I talk about them, I guess. So there was a man named Ted Hinter, and he was a professional motorcycle racer. And he lost his sight due to a car accident. He became blind. And he wanted to really navigate the world. He wanted to still be able to do things and go about, living life the way that any normal human being should, whatever normal happens to be. So, he developed a screen reading program called JAWS, which stands for Job Access with Speech. All right? Nice, right? Mm-hmm. And at first, it was for MS-DOS systems. And I'll let you in on a little secret. About 89 or 90, when I was about 5 or 6 years old, computers did not automatically come with sound cards and speakers the way that they do today. And so if you had to get accessibility software, you also had to have a hardware synthesizer called DECtalk, or something similar that invented by Ray Kurzweil.
Wow.
It's the same basic functions that Stephen Hawking used for, his speech synthesis when he lost his voice and his motor skills. You know what I'm saying? So that he could blink or whatever the fuck he did. I don't know how he did it. But it was the same voice, same basic principles, same hardware, software engineering. And so around 1990, I started learning to type, and I started to learn to Braille and all these things. And I had a wonderful teacher named Betsy Honeycutt who really paved the way for me. And she had the school district come and get all this hardware and software for me so that I'd be able to do my schoolwork and this and that. And so, yeah, around the time I was 6 years old, I was using it. It was JAWS for DOS. And the voice was way different than it is now. It was, you'd boot up the computer and go, JAWS for DOS is ready. Version 3.257 C:\greater. And if you know anything about DOS, you know all about C:\greater. You know what I'm saying? That's your command prompt. Correct, Troy?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So you'd be at your C prompt and you would have to type in various keyboard commands to get different programs to open up and etc. And over time, JAWS for DOS became JAWS for Windows. And something I really want to talk about, I've been letting my blood go out for a minute, but something I really want to talk about is the price gouging that happens with these companies, because at the time they had the monopoly on these things, and JAWS was the only game in town. And so I can remember it being $1,200, $1,300 to get a working serialized copy of this software. And if you were blind, and you were living on, say, a fixed income or some sort of disability, you had to jump through all kind of hoops, to get this necessary money to provide you the things you needed to, get through life. And that became a very, 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 very hard thing to do for a lot of people, including myself. From going to the Commission for the Blind and going through, schools and trying to get grants together and this and that and third. But either way, it's not that way anymore. And I'm jumping ahead just slightly because it's not that way now, because normally all Mac products come with accessibility installed already. But back to the JAWS. So JAWS was the only thing on the market, and that was the only thing you could use. And then came the scanners, right? Which is where you could put, say, a page or a document onto this flat screen surface, right, Troy? You know what I'm talking about? And you could scan that and then have the screen reading software read it to you. So, because a lot of times it was too resourceful to have my work made out for me in Braille. So then came the Arkenstone scanning technology, which is where you could scan your work and you could scan your documents and then have JAWS read it out to you, and you could make like a PDF or a Word document. Whatever the case, at this point, they were making JAWS accessible for a whole lot of things, but as happens with most products, when a lot of sighted people are in control of making products for the blind, they break things more than they fix them because they don't really have blind people who are out in the field testing these products. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to make do where you can. And since then, a lot of other screen reading softwares, have come up, like NVDA, and those like that, which are now free, I do believe. But JAWS is still monopolizing the market at $1,100, $1,200, and you can only buy one version of it at a time. So every time it upgrades, Troy.
Like one license. Oh, okay, I got you.
So if it upgrades, cuz you got to pay a whole
another 12. For an upgrade.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember a time when computers or telephones didn't have accessibility options?
Smartphones, yes. I remember a time when telephones did not have that at all. You just had to know the keypad on the phone, and what would help you there is that the 5 always had a dot on it.
Yes, it does.
No matter what it is, no matter where you're at, the 5 always has a dot on it. So that's how you kind of learned the phone pad. But yeah, I had a flip phone all through high school and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a latchkey kid, right? And so I had a flip phone all through high school, and I couldn't text or nothing on it. And it wasn't until about 2008 when I got a Motorola Q9C. And that was the very first smartphone I ever had. It had screen reading technology on it. I want to say it was called TalkBack.
Wow, you said about 2008?
Yep, about 2008. And it had a QWERTY keyboard on it, kind of like how the Sidekicks did, how you could kind of slide those up and it would become a keyboard, or you could slide it down and be a regular old, flip, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so around 2008, I could text a little bit and I could, navigate a little bit, but even that technology was kind of minimal and elementary in a sense, because you couldn't really browse the web with it. You couldn't do a whole lot of stuff with it. And I guess over the years, blind people like myself became very active and made a stink and wanted to do more and wanted to be more and access more. So as time went on, more companies and more, product developers really started to gear certain things and certain functions of their software to blind people, which I'm very happy of. I'm very happy for that.
When did like the audio description for movies come around?
Well, that's a funny story, because I can remember, all right, in the summertime, I used to go to these various summer camps that were put on for blind people by like the Lions Club or this and that. And one of those was called Camp Leo. It was in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And you could do many things there. Since you were on the beach, you could go swimming in the ocean. You could go fucking crabbing on a boat. You feel me? Mm-hmm. They had a boat called the Crabber J down there. And they would actually take you crabbing and show you how to put like the raw chicken meat, whatever, on the line or whatever. And you go out there fishing for crab. And I'm getting to your point. But we would go at night, into the little gymnasium, because it was at the Hilton Head Preparatory Academy where they had the camp at in the summertime. And we would go in the gymnasium at night, and they would show us like Disney movies. And from my earliest memories of being about 7, 8 years old, I watched The Dark Crystal, I think it's called, with AD.
Oh, wow.
And so, but you had to actually go out, like, say, to the American Printing House for the Blind or something like that.
So I was wondering, like, can you get a copy of that publicly now? I'd like to look for something like that. Like, you said a VHS?
Yeah, it was on VHS.
Wow, that's cool.
But see, now, more networks are being, mandated to put a certain amount of hours of AD programming, audio described programming, on for their blind users, because they see that there's a market for it. So a lot of times you don't have to necessarily go and find those VHSs anymore. But I do remember that back then you had to actually get those from a place called APH, the American Printing House for the Blind. Yep. But they were made for certain movies. It was a lot of old Disney movies. Like I watched Bambi with audio description when I was little. I watched Black Beauty with audio description when I was little. Homeward Bound. There were a few movies I watched like that when I was real little.
So it's nothing. It's not really new technology. It's just
it's more prevalent now.
Yeah, there you go.
It's more mainstream now.
I'm glad they're making it more available. So that's
yeah,
good.
They are, and day by day, like we check the list and the titles just get bigger and bigger. It just keeps growing, man. So that's great, because I've enjoyed a lot of movies, a lot of cinema, a lot of TV in my life, but you miss out on a whole lot when you don't have audio descriptions for those silent places where music is just playing or whatever the fuck.
And you actually mentioned something to me earlier, which was a real good idea. I don't know if you want to talk about it a little bit, but the other videos.
Me and T. Keith earlier were talking about audio describing music videos, because really all you need is a little bit of audio ducking. Like even in movies, like what I was just talking about, like when there's scenes where like music is playing and they're showing a montage of, say, these players running down the football field and this one getting carried off and this one, and there's no dialogue there, but there's still music there, right? Mm-hmm. So while that music's playing, there's still a voice in the audio described title that is telling you all these movements that don't require dialogue to be had. All the shit you're missing.
So if you really like the song and you're really familiar with it, you can just kind of play it in the background and let someone describe the video to you, and it's a whole different experience.
Mm-hmm. And cool. We're thinking about really starting a network doing that, or at least trying it out, doing a couple at a time and seeing. Troy would be doing it because I ain't never seen a music video in my life, but
yeah, we thought about recording one and putting it out there and see what happens. It's just an interesting idea.
Like I said, I definitely want to have Shoes sit down one day and describe to me the Jeremy video, because like I've heard about different scenes in the video, but I never actually understood the video as a whole.
Yeah,
I know the song, but apparently the song is not quite like the video.
So as a kid, I know they've started making more things accessible, like telephones and computers. But do they have things like available for you to like? I know like when kids go out and like see what like firefighters or policemen do or something like that, they can kind of look with their eyes and see what they do. Or is there something out there that actually lets you get your hands on things like?
Well, I'll tell you what, funny story. Going back to that camp that I used to go to in the summertime on Hilton Head Island. The Hilton Head Fire Department would open up their entire fire department, and they would have workers there, and they would actually let the blind kids come in and wear the firefighter helmet, like with the whole air breathing mask, all that shit.
Yeah.
And they'd let you feel on like the uniform and all that. They'd let you get up in the truck and fuck with the hoses.
Wow.
And honk the little wonk wonk, little siren and shit.
So you're fucking with the hose early in life.
I was fucking with hose my whole life.
Hell yeah. I remember you telling me one time too, I think about the Ringling Brothers or something. You had like the...
Yeah. I was actually on TV, dude. See, early in life when I was about 5 years old, the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus, used to come to Columbia, South Carolina, and they would put on what's called a touch tour for the blind. And one year, I got selected to actually go to the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus and, attend this touch tour, you know what I'm saying? And you be in it. So I got to walk around and touch the llamas and elephants and feed the elephants fucking carrots or whatever you feed elephants. I don't remember.
That's
I was
cool
5. And you got to hang out with the little clowns and shit. And actually, you just brought me back to something that I forgot about. So when you went to the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, if you were blind, they gave you a pair of headphones where if you put the headphones on, there were commentators that would describe to you the various theatrics and like acrobatics and the animal tricks that were going on. So it was kind of like AD at the circus. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of fun, man.
So like while the acts and stuff were going on, you had somebody describing the acts and everything. So it's like an audio described circus.
It's like dope. An audio described circus. You won't like it.
I got you.
So yeah, man. I can even remember at one point they had what's called a Braille and Speak, which is basically like a Braille writer. It's shaped just like a Braille writer, but it's kind of flat like a tablet.
Yep.
And it had USB ports on it that you could write all of your stuff out in Braille like you typically would, but then you could connect it to like a printer and you could print out, all of your stuff, whatever, like as print so that sighted people could read it.
Yeah.
Or you could print it out in Braille so that blind folks could read it. Like, it was a whole different world way back then, and like technology has come way far and you don't need as much hardware as you used to, so that's great.
So what was the first iPhone that you owned? Do you remember which one it was? And how has technology changed on smartphone or phones, period?
The very first iPhone I ever owned was an iPhone 6. And it's changed a lot since then, but not so much. Like in the way that it's changed in a way that like sometimes shit don't work the way that it should have. And that's because, like I say, the more you improve things, sometimes the more you can break it just by not thinking about the users of the said apps. So, I mean, it's coming around in a big way, man. But like I say, there's certain things I wish would change, like Facebook and, PayPal, because a lot of times you'll come across a button and you won't know what that button says. It just says button. And it could be any number of buttons. You don't want to click the wrong button and shit. And you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't tell you which button, just
you never know.
Button.
It doesn't tell you which button on all buttons. So like, these are things that need to, and I think what a lot of that comes down to is developers are starting to use graphics more and emojis more that can't necessarily be read instead of text.
Yeah. Well, you figure it would be coded in there because you have to name that button. You know what I'm saying? Like that button is a link, so it has to be named or something. So maybe it's just something to do with the readers not targeting the right section of the actual button. You know what I'm saying? Well,
I have a thought. Maybe Apple should update VoiceOver. Like there hasn't been an overhaul update to VoiceOver itself in years.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the programs itself that are lacking in adaptability. Maybe it's VoiceOver not keeping up with the times. I didn't think about that.
Could be.
So
a lot of people ask how to use your telephone and stuff like that. So how you care to maybe demonstrate?
I will. As soon as I find my phone. There it is. So what you want to first do is you want to unlock your phone.
And it uses face recognition.
Face recognition to unlock the phone.
People are like, why is he looking at his phone?
Right, because people love to say that. So you turn up your volume a little bit like this so people can hear. And I'll slow the speech down some so you can kind of hear.
Page 2 of 3.
Now, I'm going to pull up YouTube.
YouTube. Cast. Button.
And I'm going to search.
Button. Search. J prints the whole story. Search history suggestions. Cap N. Cap B.
Blind.
D.
Fury.
F. Y. U. Delete L. U. I.
See what I mean?
U.
That L is right
Yeah,
beside
yeah.
that delete. You see what I mean?
Y. T.
TV.
Search.
And now we're gonna search.
Tab. Back. Button. Live. Face ID with blind fury lip.
Oh, look at here.
001.
We're
Lip.
live. I'm
Face
gonna
ID with
pull
blind
up.
fury lip. Learn more.
Shit.
Button. Learn more.
Right here is 4 minutes there. Turn your
You might-
TV down. If you're going to call in, turn your television
All
knob
right.
in.
Now I'm gonna read some comments. How about that?
Click. Button. Tap. Click. What?
Let me see.
Sinido Osaka. At the Godfather, not you.
At the Godfather, not you.
John
Let's.
Boy's Custom Rods. What up?
John Boy's Custom Rod says, "What's up?"
Sean Lapis. Freestyle about getting old.
Sean something says freestyle about getting old.
Zoman Zombie. Eagle. Paul Minotaur. It's not lazy. It's not enforced accountability.
It's not lazy. It's not enforced accountability.
Welcome to live chat. Remember,
Welcome
learn
to
more.
live chat.
Diane Tiff Bullock. Why are they taking about phones?
Why aren't they talking about phones? We are talking about phones. We just haven't gotten there yet. See, so that's how I read it. That's how the screen reader. What?
Oh, because this is Face It with Fury, and he's talking about accessibility options and things like that's options that are available for the blind, so,
Yeah.
or the visually impaired.
We're talking about blind accessibility tonight. This is called Face It with Fury. Can I
Fury.
see that?
Yep, there you go. Back to Face
Thank
It.
you.
Yep.
Back to facing it. So that's how the screen reader and voiceover works, and you can manipulate that to read you pretty much anything that you want, like and then respond to it. Like I can go right down here to the bottom.
100 chat message.
Let me see. I can
reaction.
go
Chat message
to
input.
chat message input,
Furyman. Chat message
and I
input.
can
Chat public
type
Fury Furyman.
in
Cat Y. Cat W.
what's up,
A. U. Send.
like
Button.
that.
Send.
See?
No clear.
Now watch, it'll pop up in there. Fury
It'll pop
Freeman
up.
said, "What's up?"
There you go.
And he's been listening to this voiceover for a very long time, so he speeds it up a lot. So to to the naked ear or to someone who's not used to it, you almost can't even understand it. You know,
My
it's just-
voiceover actually sounds like this.
Click. Button. Tap so close. Top chat. 170. Tip bullet. Thumbs up video. Kristen. That's actually go. The Godfather. Sinido. No not I. The Mark of the Beast. Wingware. Do SPM track freestyle. Everyone talking about you will be your freestyle king.
All right, doing SPM freestyle, talking about how it blow up because I'm the freestyle king. All right, but anyway, that's just how fast the voiceover works when I typically use it. Because who wants to use it all slow if you don't got to?
Yep.
And like I said, that's something that I've been working at with Jaws since I was like 5 years old. Like, you know, and going to those summer camps and being around other blind kids and like, you know, learning the different options that are out there, you know, for you and for others, and just, you know, being able to commune and learn from each other. Like, that's a really dope experience. So like, I would tell anybody out there, like, you know, losing your sight is not the end of the world at all. Like, if you can't see, that does not mean you can't live. Actually, I feel like I live a whole lot more and experience a whole lot more beautiful shit because I can't see.
Believe it or not, a lot of visual people miss a lot of things because they can see. They, you know, they can't see the trees because of the forest.
Right. Well, I mean, you can't see the forest for the trees, and
that
you
what it
can't
is?
smell your own shit on your. Anyway.
Something like that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Looking
my
right
bad.
past that motherfucker.
Right. My bad. I don't know why I did that. Here. I'm just used to you being there, and then anyway. But yeah, man, so we're gonna open it up right now, and I'm gonna just, you know, take some questions from you guys and have Troy read them off. What do you think about
Absolutely.
that?
And shout out to everybody right now on Facebook and YouTube. We are cross-platform in here, so shout out to everyone for tuning in. Let's take some questions from the viewers here, y'all. If y'all have any questions about accessibility options or anything about maybe being visually impaired or blind or anything
Movies
like
I've
that.
seen, or where you can find audio described movies, how to turn it on with your various players.
Yep.
I'm here for it. Which, by the way, with most smart TVs nowadays, you do have the option to watch audio described videos as long as the streaming service that you're watching provides that option for said video. It is doable.
Shout out to Fat Boy Baker right there for being a level 1 member for the past 10 months. If y'all are tuning in on Facebook, please go over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. We just hit 305,000 subscribers, so we definitely appreciate y'all.
305, all the way live, Pitbull.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Fury, what's good, fam? From KIDIZ, Kentucky? Cadiz?
I ain't never heard of it.
I've never heard of that one. How are your dreams being blind?
I experience most of the things that I would experience in waking life in dreams. I still can't see in my dreams because I've never seen when I was awake. But my dreams are very vivid and very real, but they always contain one element that just doesn't belong, and that's how I know I'm dreaming. You know what I'm saying? I can usually pick it out too, like, wait, that don't belong there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brittany. She said, why don't you get a service dog?
I travel a lot, and I do a whole lot where I wouldn't necessarily want or need a service dog. I don't want to put my life in the hands of an animal and have it, be that way. Like if I were gonna have a dog, I would love to have a dog like as a pet, but I don't want a working dog.
Hell yeah.
Plus, I know some people who have had some real bad experiences with CNI dogs. And I won't say where them dogs came from, but I will tell you they were German Shepherds. And when them German Shepherds get old, they get fucking crazy. And they like to attack people just because they're old and cranky and shit. Period.
Love your music. I hope you go far. That's Janelle. Shout out to Janelle right there for that comment.
Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. Do you write your music or are you off the top all the time?
No, I write a lot of the music that I put on albums, and the music that I do for features and shit like that. And I'll either write by using voice notes or I'll just memorize it, and go like 4 bars at a time and learn it. Or, I might even just text it to Troy sometimes. I've done that a few times. Just text you bars.
Yep. What was the first time you were told about your intellect?
Well, I had a teacher in kindergarten. Her name was Miss Ann Davis. She no longer works anymore. She's retired. And she told me, she said, Steven. Well, she used to call me Norris. She never called me, she called me Norris. She said, Norris, you smart as a whip, baby. And if you would apply yourself, Norris, you'll go far. Because you smart. You just don't want to do nothing.
Mad respect on those turbo ears, Fury, damn.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Lee Moore said, how about video games? Do any have audio description?
Not currently. Well, Quake does.
That's cool.
Quake 3 Arena does, and I'll whoop your ass in Quake anytime you want. But no, most of them don't yet. Now
Alexa has that one game out that you can play. Yeah, Skyrim. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. But now here's the thing, Lee Moore, and you know this to be true. Your Xbox has voiceover on it, so it does have a screen reader, but the screen reader has not been ported yet to games. But like, say if you want to pull up Netflix or like Hulu or whatever on your fucking Xbox. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's got a screen reader on it, like voiceover. You could do that. Because one day, Big, Lee and Ashley's little boy, turned their fucking screen reader on and they couldn't get it to turn off. Like the TV was just yelling at them.
Ken said, what are examples of good and bad accessibility experiences in apps, websites, and anything else that you use?
All right. I'll give you an example of a really bad experience. Pop-up boxes.
I got you. It's kind of small. I want you to burn yourself on that ashtray.
I won't.
You good? Okay.
Pop-up boxes. Like, okay, you know where you have to go and fill out forms on certain websites and it goes your age, like day, month, year.
Yep.
And you got to pull up them, slide it up and swipe to the month and the date. And you know what I'm talking about? Well, those are really not accessible all the time. Like, you got to fuck with them shits a few times to get them shits right. Or like with screen captures, like where you got to pick all the squares that have stoplights.
Oh yeah, like try not to prove you're not a robot.
Yeah,
and
to
shit.
prove you're not a robot.
Yep.
And like, even if you go to get an audio challenge, that audio challenge is so staticky sometimes you don't know what the hell they be saying. Like, you'll get one word wrong or one letter wrong and it'd be the whole damn lock you on out.
You are the flow master. When will we see you down south in Cajun? In Louisiana? Is that Cajun?
Yeah, I guess so, in Louisiana. I don't know, whenever I get booked down there. I'm down south all the time.
Yep. Let's see here. Just trying to find some more comments. Let's go up here to the live chat and see what we got.
I'm planning a trip to Clearwater this summer for anybody interested.
Yeah. You're planning. Oh yeah, I'm down to go. We'll go down there with your shit.
Mm-hmm. I want to go down. And the reason I want to go down is I want to go see the Freedom Scientific headquarters. Like where JAWS and Magnifier and Zoom Text and all these things that I grew up using were made. And just see like how far they've come, what they got coming in the future. Like how are y'all competing with iOS now, being that their screen reader is free? What are y'all
Let's see. This is a question for me here. Is there anything that is not as accessible that you would like to be more accessible?
Yes, TikTok.
Okay.
Because with TikTok and voiceover, if you swipe over, you just go to different videos, but you can't actually choose what video that you're gonna see. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, TikTok is just random videos. Yep.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, I can't choose the live, like the watch live buttons, like how you
Oh,
do
you
or
can't
whatever.
go to the live shit. Okay,
I can't see none of that.
I got you. It's just strictly videos. Like
Yeah, it's
swipes.
just strictly like just random. So like I can't, or like if I want to go see a certain person's TikTok,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
So maybe like an audio more accessible TikTok and
Make
maybe
the
an
search
audio
button and shit.
describe. That'd be cool. Audio describe videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I didn't
So
want that.
what do you think about this Face It with Fury?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So do it next to yourself.
Oh well, I just.
I didn't know that. That's killing me. I did what you asked me to.
Okay. Well then, don't worry about it.
So how do you guys feel about this Face It with Fury? This is the very first one. Like I said, it's the first of many. Like, I'm learning the ropes. I'm seeing how it is to be on my own a little bit.
And we're going to do this the last Wednesday of every month. Yep. So let's see here. Whoa, the comments just went way up there. Let's see. If you hold on, driving is essential and the pen is suspenseful.
Yeah. Well, driving's not essential.
At what age did you start rapping and what inspired you?
Well, I tell this story often. I started rapping when I was 4. And what inspired me to rap was getting my ass whipped when I was 3 for singing "Hey, We Want Some Pussy" by 2 Live Crew, word for word in front of my mama. Like, I didn't know at the time what I was singing was bad. I just knew that it sounded really fucking cool. Didn't know why. It just was something different than what I was used to hearing. So I got into that. And boy, I got my ass whipped. See, that was, way back then.
Self-driving cars, yes, that would be something that would be really cool to see more accessible for the visually impaired or blind people.
We used to joke about that a lot, me and Troy, because I said one day I'm going to get the Tesla and just pull up in Troy's yard and hop out like, hey, get in, we're going to ride, Troy.
Yeah, that would be really cool somehow, like maybe put some tracks on the road or something so everybody's car can just hop on the track and drive, or I don't know. But that's a good question. How has being blind affected your writing process?
Well, I don't know any other way to be, so I don't necessarily know that it's affected it.
True.
I've never written any other way than the way that I've always written, so I don't...
It's never been affected.
It's never been affected. But that's a good question.
Blind Fury, the fucking goat.
The Baphomet.
Kick a freestyle.
Friday night, man. Make sure you tune in, man, because that's what we're going to be doing. Fury Freestyles for the Friday.
Hell yeah, Lucas. Tune in Friday, and he will be doing a few freestyles. Now, tomorrow we will be doing Telephone Thursday, So tune in tomorrow. You will get a chance to call in and talk to Fury and ask him questions, or just talk to us and kind of, cut it up for a minute and chill.
Now, I did know... I'll tell you a funny blind story, though, right? I knew a dude one time when I was in the job training program at the commission, right? And he had just went blind. He had just lost his sight like last year, like the year before that, right? And so they put him, his counselor or whatever, put him in the job training program, right? And the blind dude was outside one day and he had not quite gotten used to not having his sight yet. And Cuz was trying to light a black and mild, right? Cuz, and it was funny to me at first because he kept striking the lighter and I could hear the lighter actually strike like it was flaming up. You feel me? And he was not hitting that black for nothing.
He couldn't find the end of that bitch.
He couldn't find the end of it. And I'm like, Cuz, you want me to help you out?
Now, I noticed you do have a few different techniques on doing things, like pouring a glass of a drink or even lighting a cigar. Do you care to share how you fill up a drink without overflowing that motherfucker? Or
I typically put my index finger inside of the cup.
Okay, so you feel the liquid touch, get real close
When
to
it
your
touches
index
my finger, then I know, all right, I'm good.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
As far as lighting a cigar goes, I typically just put the lighter to the tip of the cigar and then I light it.
Kind of just tapped it or something with your...
tap it and get a good little smell of it going, and then I hit it. See, because I don't hit the blunt while I light it because that's just silly.
And, a lot of people really don't think about things like that. Like, just tying your shoe. Like, it's hard to explain to a blind person how to tie their shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really difficult.
Fury fact, I can't.
What can't I? I know it'd be hard as fuck to like. You can't really. That's something you have to show someone. You know what I'm saying? Like
now, here's the catch, right? I'll show you something. I could tie my shoe if it were like this.
Yeah, with the 2 bows and then the tie it in again. And
no, I mean in front of me.
Yeah.
Like I can tie it that way, but I can't tie it on my foot. See what I'm saying? Can't do that.
Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, just like doing something as simple as like lighting a cigarette or lighting a blunt or anything like that, and like eating too. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to almost kind of.
I'm funny about eating around people.
Yeah, because you almost have to like fill your plate a little bit. Because if you don't know what's on your plate, you really can't guide your fork in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? So. And
then some people want to look at you like, "Why are you touching your food?"
Yeah, like why you got your food in your plate, man? Motherfucker, because I'm eating, bro. Like leave me alone. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Why you got your fork in your fucking plate?
Right.
Yeah, but no, it's just there's a lot of things that people don't think about.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I definitely appreciate you taking us down the rabbit hole of what Fury has to deal with.
Yeah, for real. Cause and look, we'll probably do mini episodes on blindness and what I have to deal. I even told Troy earlier. I think one day I'm just going to blindfold him and have him do menial tasks. I'm just going to tell him things to do and see if he can do them without seeing to do them. Mm-hmm. I think you could because you've watched me do some of the things that I'm going to tell you to do. You've seen me do it.
And also, like, I know kind of like what it looks like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, if, like, shaving, never being able to have seen that and then trying to do it, it would be difficult. But now, if I close my eyes and try to shave, I could almost envision what I'm doing, if that makes any sense, because I've done it so many times and I've seen myself do it. So,
I mean, you've seen me do it because I'll just feel along, like, right here. And just...
Yeah.
Except now that I have this goatee, I'm, like, real careful with it because I don't want to fuck my...
Yeah. And I remember one time you were telling me like you have like dots on your washing machine or your dryer or something because you can't put your knobs, you can't see where to put your knobs, so you have to kind of mark it away.
You gotta mark it.
That's very interesting.
So that you can turn the arrow where it goes.
And I noticed I went to your house, you know what I'm saying, and I went inside your refrigerator one time to get water.
Yep.
And your mom keeps that motherfucker just about the exact same, so I assume where things are. So
yeah.
Huh.
Well, see, I've always been and this comes from being blind too. I've always been a place for everything and everything in its place kind of person.
Yeah.
So like, things have to always be wherever I know that they are, because I'll lose it if I don't know. Like if I look for it and it's not where I thought it was, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like the whole world is about to collapse.
Yeah, I believe it. Hell yeah. What's good, fam? That's Ronnie Turner in the building.
Ronnie Turner, what's happening?
Bridget said, "Pig ear, tie mine." With the 2 pig ears and tie them again. Yep, there you go. That's what's up. Well, we hope y'all enjoyed the first episode of Face It with Fury. We're going to be bringing many more and bringing many more topics.
Yeah, many more topics.
So we'll do this once a month. So we can try to come up with good topics, and we may even put some suggestions in our community tab. So if you have some suggestions, definitely drop it and let us know what we can talk about.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Beyond measure. Smoke brisket, not meth.
Hell yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were going to hold on.
Oh, my bad. You sounded like you was...
I wasn't down there at the bottom, my fault.
Oh.
But yeah, tune in tomorrow, y'all. Telephone Thursday.
Ho.
Yeah, ho. And Friday for Fury Freestyles for the Friday. So what'd you tell them, Fury? Smoke brisket and
not meth.
Peace out, y'all. Good night.
I feel boxed in by these walls. I miss my family, I miss my dogs, I miss my mom and my daddy, but God knows I had every reason for losing it all. I just hope someday I'm free. Until then, you gotta pray for me. I keep on singing my song, cause that's what helps me to stay strong. I start my day in a depression. I wake up and I'm shaking and I'm sweating. Jump out the bed and pace cause I'm stressed and I'm bored. Got some shit to record, but I don't wanna do it. These voices be talking to me saying do something stupid. Fuck your music, don't nobody wanna hear the shit that I'm spitting. I'm feeling like quitting for real, bruh. Keep on doing them drugs till they finally kill ya. You be thinking they won't, but I swear that they will, bruh. Still the agony of tragedies weighing me down. I'ma probably be this way until I'm laid in the ground. Lost in an ocean of emotion, just waiting to drown. Trying to find my way through the dark without making a sound. Stand by these walls. I miss my family, I miss my dogs, I miss my mom and my daddy, but God knows I had every reason for losing it all. I just hope someday I'm free. Until then, you gotta pray for me. I keep on singing my song, cause that's what helps me to stay strong. this one is for Steven, for my mom. I'm really sorry for shoving them needles in my arm, but people look at me like I'm the bomb. And I'm really uncomfortable with the fucking demon I've become. The weed don't get me numb, and neither does the drinking. Cause at 3 in the morning is when I get to thinking. Sitting on the edge of my bed, crying and praying, wondering if God is hearing shit that I'm saying. I swear to God he's not, so I just keep on rolling up these big blunts to the pot, trying to connect the dots, spinning on my dubs in these fucking strip clubs with these bitches that don't wanna let me fuck. I feel boxed in by these walls. I miss my family, I miss my dog.